It's 1 year in Canada. It's 1 year in Canada. 1 year. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while I did a sit down video, I think. How you guys been? Hope you've been awesome. Thank you if you are still watching my videos. I truly appreciate you guys. And as you can tell from the title, I'm excited about this one. I'll be subscribed, by the way. Anyways, it's 1 year in Canada. It's 1 year in Canada. 1 year. Oh my gosh, for those that have been following me from the beginning of my journey from Nigeria, or if you started following me when I landed in Canada, thank you very much. I truly appreciate the love. Anyway, so they were talking about what it has been like since moving to Canada. I just thought to do this video. It's just like a chit chat. Let me just randomly talk about how the experience has been for those of you that are looking to come here and those that are maybe already here and you've not clocked a bit, it's your 1 year milestone yet. I'm here to give you all the tea. Nothing extremely scary. Nothing scary. It's just let's gist about Canada. So backstory: I landed in Canada March 2022, and before myself and my husband landed in Canada, we had submitted our application for roughly 2 years. We submitted our application 2020, our express entry application 2020 March, and we got it 2022 February, and then we left March 2022, like 6 weeks, 7 weeks after. Because I mean, guys, let me tell you, we have been waiting for this thing. We had been on this journey from 2017. My husband had been on the journey since 2017. Typically, is it 2017 or 2016? I think he did his IELTS 2016, and then he started writing West 2017. We started dating at that time, so I was the ginger of let's go to Canada, let's go to the promised land. Anyway, so this journey has typically been since 2017, and then when the PR came in 2022, there was no point waiting. There was no point saying we're ready. If time had permitted us, we'll have left maybe like 1-2 weeks after we got that PR. But I think we came, I think 5 weeks after, and it's been an amazing journey. Or it's not to me, it's not a journey again. But let me give you back story. So we landed in March. We landed in Alberta in March. We did a few weeks here, and then we moved to Ontario where my sister resides, and then we stayed in Ontario for a few months, and then we came back to Alberta and settled, rented a place. So I'll give you all like the short story of how our journey has been. When we landed, we went to Ontario. While we were in Alberta, I didn't search for a job. My husband didn't search for a job because we felt like I didn't feel like anything. Anyways, there was a plan, but we didn't start searching for a job until I think 5 weeks after, and to the glory of God, we got our first job that we ever applied to. It was in Ontario, so we got that job, just one interview, and we got the job. We both got a job in the same company. It was a fully remote company. It was amazing. I don't think I've shared the story about that job here. It was fully remote. We were working. The job was not tedious. It was chilling. I think I'm going to do another video about that job. It was chilling, so we're all at home with my sister, our husband, everybody were working from home. It was really interesting. Anyways, and then thereafter, like when we planned on our coming back in June, we paid for car. Anyways, I think you guys have seen that story. We came back, we rented an apartment before we came. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. We rented an apartment online. I've got to have it. The first apartment that I applied for was what we found, because I'd come to this area and I knew that I wanted to stay in this area because it's really lovely area. It's a really lovely area. So I didn't bother searching around. I just focused my search on this place, and the first apartment I applied to is what I got. Oh no, not the first actually. The second, because the first one said they couldn't wait for us to come. It was a new apartment. They couldn't wait for us to come because they were saying who will pay for the 1 month mortgage. Anyways, we got this one. Living in Alberta since then. It's been amazing. When I was coming to Alberta, when we were coming to Alberta, we got a new job. So I am on my second job in Canada. Very interesting. I don't want to tell you the number of jobs my husband has done, but what I'm trying to say is that it's been a very interesting and fulfilling journey. We waited for a long time, and then when we came here, it looked like things were working in according to how we wanted and according to God's plan. Luckily for us. Okay, so when we came into Alberta, we knew only one person. One person, my husband's friend. We stayed with them for a bit before going to Ontario. So from there, I started building my community, and to the glory of God. If you know many people I know in this Alberta now, you think I'm the chief community leader of this Calgary. I know I came here knowing just one person that I didn't have a relationship with, but we have gone into relationship now, and I now know a ton of people. I kid you not, I know now a ton of people. I've been able to build my community, and I'm so thankful for that, because that was like a major thing that I won't say I was scared of, I was concerned, because I'm a very outgoing person. Go to like I have like different people. I have like a big community in Lagos. I was living in Lagos, Nigeria at the time. So, and it was something that I was concerned about, but not bothered. So I'm so thankful that I'm able to build that community. Let me tell you, if I want to do party now, I've done full all, maybe not 500 guests, but I will do full party that people will be, no. So I've been able to build an amazing community in my, in the environment where I live and outside the environment where I live. It's been awesome. Let's talk about weather. You see, when we got our PNP, and I started hearing about Alberta, Calgary. Oh my gosh, it was scary in terms of weather. They will tell you it's the coldest place. It's very cold. Oh my God, even my sister will say it's very cold. My mom was so concerned then, because she knew, and then she kept on saying, oh my God, that you don't like cold, how are you going to cope? I wasn't in the beginning, I was concerned that, oh my God. And then because I'd come into Canada before, so I'd experienced the winter in Ontario, but I'd not experienced the winter in Alberta. So I was really, what's it going to be like? Because it's one that people are saying that Alberta weather is way worse. But now, let me tell you the truth. As someone that has lived in this country, okay, I've not lived in Alberta for a year, but I've done Alberta winter. They are all lying. They're all liars. It is not as cold as people make it seem. It is not unbearable. I've seen a lot of theories about how you should not even be outside during the cold, because your brain, your body, soul is going to freeze. My dear sisters and brothers, they are all lying. Although the cold can be extreme, but it is not extreme the whole of the winter season. For instance, typically the winter is supposed to start in like November and end in March, right? We're currently in March and the weather is awesome. So typically the winter ends in February. So in that 4 month space, the weather is extremely cold in maybe a week, where you get to minus 20 something, minus 30 something, max 2 weeks. It is not unbearable. I met a friend that moved from Ontario to Alberta, and she says that was one of the things that she was scared about coming here. But it's not what people make it seem. Maybe the only people that I would say that I would feel the winter in The toughest form are people that enter the bus and the train, because then they have to stand in the cold to wait for the bus or something like that. But aside that old bus train experience, you're not even there standing in, apart from those people, you're not, every other person, you're not standing in the cold ready to now enter your body. The max is you park your car and you're going into somewhere. The max you're doing is you're walking for 5 minutes, which is really, because where you're going to, you most likely park in front. So people have been exaggerating, I would say, permit me to use the word, for the lack of a better word, exaggerating about the weather. And then food. So because I'm a picky eater, I've not explored food from different cultures. Like, Canada is a multicultural society, so there are a lot of, if you want to eat Indian food, Japanese food, you find all those kind of restaurants. So I'm a very picky eater, so I just stick to what I already know. So that made me invest so much in cargoing my foodstuffs from Nigeria. So I don't have a problem with food. I continue to eat my Nigerian food, which is really also readily available in African stores, where you can just buy the foodstuff and eat. Let's talk about what else? Job, adaptability. I already spoke about community. I know some people will find it hard when I talk about community. The way I talk about my community is different from the way my husband talk about his community, because I'm much of an extrovert and he is their own body, doesn't like to go out, introvert, only gets comfortable around his people. And I know that is one. We were talking some days ago, and then I asked that, what's your biggest challenge? And he says friends, because he's not one to dash out and make friends. So the one he has not been able to build a friendship in this place, apart from the friend that he knew before. So that is one thing that his own challenges. But let me be truthful to you, I'm not capping, I'm not trying to make everything seem sweet or anything. I've not had any challenges in this place, and that's the truth. For instance, I know the weather too might be something that people will find difficult. Right now, I don't even have a winter jacket. I have just regular jackets that I wore throughout the winter, and I didn't die. Nothing happened to me. Because I'm not standing in the cold, I understand that. But I mean, who would think that someone that lives in the almighty city of Calgary, Alberta, will not have a winter jacket? So it's not that tough. Personally, I've not had any form of challenges. And I'm telling you the truth. You can live depending on kind of mindset. I brought a very positive mindset. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I brought a very positive mindset, and I knew that nothing was going to stop me. The way I was living my life in Lagos, where I would go out, go and eat, find something to do all the time if I don't want to be indoors. That doesn't mean I don't have days where I just want to stay at home. That's the way I'm living my life here. I'm not necessarily too conscious to live that kind of life, but it just happens because I believe so much in the kind of thoughts you fed your mind with. So I fed my mind with positive, this place is going to be great and all that, and it is great for me. I know a lot of people with different challenges. What would I say I've struggled with? Let's see. Honestly, nothing. Maybe the only thing I'm struggling with is the fact that I cannot go out and go and eat amala buka. That's the only thing that I struggle, and suya. But the flip side, there is a Nigerian brand that sells really nice suya here. You just need to add more soya pepper if you have soya pepper, and you're good. The only thing is that it's frozen, so it's not as fresh as the one you buy on the roadside. And when I feel like eating that buka stew amala with gbegiri and everything, I make my thing, I make myself happy. I see it 2 days ago. Life moves on. When I find myself in Lagos, I will eat enough of buka amala that will last me for another number of years. What I'm just trying to say is that you can make it work for you as much as you want. It's not a tough environment, if I may say so. It hasn't been tough for me. It hasn't been challenging for me. It's been sweet. So now let me talk about life generally. So where do I shop? Right now where I'm sitting, I can see my supermarket, superstore. That is where I shop. And once in a while I go to Walmart to do some buying if they don't have here. Walmart is like 8 minutes away, but I prefer here because the way it's closer. Like this afternoon, my husband has gone out to go and buy grapes because we ran out of grapes. Just right in front, and he went to buy, and he also bought plantain. So easy access. So I don't really go far. I only go to Walmart maybe like once in a blue moon if there's something that I need and Superstore doesn't have. What else? There are several African stores. I use 2 African stores. One like 10 minutes away from my house, and the other one that is closer to my office. So if I am coming from the office, I just branch there. That one is like, it's also about 10 minutes. I'll be 8 minutes with traffic because it will be closing time. So that's why I buy my African things, those 2 stores. What else? There's malt here, there's kilishi, there's everything. There's everything you really need. But I would advise you to do cargo if you can, because it will save you a lot of money. In that, I won't say challenging, but very annoying. The healthcare system is here. It's not as much as it's free. It's going to take you some time to get an appointment because the number of new immigrants coming into the country is not commensurate to the health workers that they have. So there's some sort of shortage. So I remember one time I was ill and I was rushed to the emergency room. My brothers and my sisters, let me let you know that I spent about 8 hours in that place before I saw a doctor. Sad. That was my most annoying experience. Anyways, it has happened to me twice. It happened to me in Ontario, and then it happened to me in about a year. My house is very close to an hospital, so we got there in good time. But the only thing I would say is that when you're waiting to see a doctor, they'll do all sort of tests on you. They'll do every form of test and scan, take your blood, take your urine, take your head, take your body. They'll do all those kind of things so that by the time the doctor wants to see you, you are prepared. Everything is sorted for the doctor to see, and then max 10 minutes. But another thing is that while you're waiting for the doctor, when you get into the emergency room, you would see a nurse that would give you medication if you're going through a pain. And the truth is, while I was waiting, I wasn't feeling any pain again because that bombarded me with pain relief, so I was good. But it was just a waiting period that was frustrating, and we couldn't even come on because you would not know when they'll call you. But aside that, the fact that every other thing is free and you will get the best of the professionals, good, but just the time wasting is frustrating. But aside of that, that's my overview. What come to a country that works. I kid you not. I don't want to use the comparison from where I'm coming from. I'm a Nigerian by birth. I lived in Nigeria all my life before I moved here 2022. But I tell you, this country works. This country works. It's crazy. It's interesting, but I mean, you can see, I know a lot of people that another thing that new immigrants find difficult is the taxing system here. So by the time you get your pay slip and you see how much you're being taxed, you wonder why. But you know the interesting thing is that tax that they're taking from you, you are seeing it work. It works. For instance, now aside all of that, that's even federal. Let me tell you now, since we moved into our apartment in August, we haven't paid electricity bill. Because why? The government of Alberta decided that they're going to pay electricity bill for everybody living. So it now depends on how much you spend. You're going to pay the difference because what they're paying is $50. So we are using less than $50. So we're not paying anything. But some people are using way more than $50. So they'll pay the difference. So the government will pay $50 and they'll pay the difference. But I'm not saying a lot of things works here. A lot of things works here. I kid you not. There is a lot of rebates you get back from the government, like your tax, HST money, GST in Alberta and HST in other provinces. I mean, a lot of things works here. I kid you not. you can make the all struggles that you hear people talk about, you can make it work for you. What I'll say is that when you come here, don't live by the pressure that is going on around the new immigrants. And that's one thing that is dominant in the Nigerian community: pressure. But don't work with other people's pressure. It will not work for you. So work in your own pace. Don't be pressured to do anything you feel like the new immigrants are doing. Work in your own place. In this place, there are a lot of informations. Listen to hear everything you want to hear and dissect the one that would work for you. I know that sometimes you might not be able to know what will work for you because you're a new immigrant, right? But you can make a lot of good decisions based on people's experiences, but don't pressurize yourself. That's one thing I would say. Don't pressurize yourself. Canada have been financially been a blessing to my family. I kid you not. You guys would not understand, but this place works. Make it work for yourself. And I would tell you, if you are still contemplating coming to this country, I know that there are a lot of factors that would that make people contemplate if it's going to be the right place for them. I don't know what you might be fighting with in your closet in terms of why you shouldn't relocate, but I want to tell you today that everybody's journey is different. I might come here and in 6 months I've gotten my breakthrough. Some people 2 years, some people 3 years. But I tell you for a fact that you would get that, God being on your side, you would come to Canada if you can afford to, because I understand the process is expensive. I've done a video on that. Not even now that with the exchange rates, I understand that. I understand a lot of factors, but if you want to come and there's somebody telling you don't come, there's nothing in that country, I think that person is your enemy of progress. See, I'm advocating for a lot of people to come. It's worth it. It's worth it, I would say. And then our 2017 to 2022, I don't even remember. If not, I'm talking about, I don't remember all those wait periods that were exhausting. But I would say that it's a good place to be. And yeah, that's my 1 year recap. I hope I've been able to encourage you and not to discourage you, that you can make this journey, you can make this lifestyle work for you. And you know that one of the biggest issues people are facing right now is IELTS. My husband struggled with it. He had his own share of it. But look at us right now. So don't give up. I would say don't give up. The journey might be tough. It's crazy. It's a lot. It's exhausting. It's time consuming. It's money spending. It's emotionally draining. But you would not give up, and you will come to this country and you reap the fruit of all your hustles of coming to this country. Anyways, that's it. I hope you are subscribed. I hope you are really subscribed to this channel. And please like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.